My beloved child, come closer. Have you ever felt in the quiet between breaths a tug, soft as a whisper, persistent as a heartbeat, that reminded you you were not abandoned? Have you wondered if the long road you have walked, with its bright mornings and shadowed evenings, was ever seen by a hand that loves you? Do you still long to be known, to be held, to have your story meet meaning in this late season of life? I speak now into that longing. I speak not from a distance, but from the innermost place where you rest, the center of your memory, the chamber of your sorrow, the quiet room where your prayers breathe. You are not here by accident. Every step that brought you to this moment was threaded by my presence, whether you recognized it or not. I have prepared this hour for you. It is an appointment written into the very fabric of your days. Listen, for I will make my nearness felt through words that settle like warmth upon your chest. Remember the times you thought you were alone, the nights when loss felt too heavy, the mornings when questions outnumbered answers. I was there. I moved in ways you could not trace. A neighbor's unexpected kindness, the sudden memory that brought a smile, the small grace that steadied your hand. I have walked with you through hospitals and recipes, through taxes and twilight, through weddings and the small, sacred, ordinary acts that make a life. My presence is not always thunderous. It is steady and faithful, like a lamp kept slowly burning in the window of a beloved home. Do not be troubled because you cannot always sense me. The world grows loud with busyness and worry, and the spirit sometimes learns to quiet itself rather than to listen. But remember this: hearing is not the only proof of presence. The evidence of my nearness is in the way your heart still remembers what is true, in the sudden tears that carry release rather than pain, in the peace that outlasts the storm. These are my fingerprints upon your days. You may feel unworthy, thinking your mistakes make you distant from me. Hear me plainly. I am not counted by your failures. I am larger than every regret that sits like a stone on your chest. I hold your past with mercy, and I have folded every error into the story I am still writing through you. The years you wish you could change are not wasted. They are the soil in which humility and compassion grow. From these things, fruit will yet come. I am not surprised by your history. I have already redeemed it. If you carry the loneliness of friends gone or family who cannot understand, know that I am closer than any conversation. I am the companion at the bedside, the quiet encourager when laughter is thin, the hand that steadies you when memories rush in like a tide. Let me be the place where you unload the burdens that have become too heavy to bear alone. Tell me, openly and without fear, what you have hidden. I am a safe harbor for your truth. Your doubts are welcomed. Your questions are not proof of disbelief, but invitations to deeper trust. Ask me, wrestle with me. You will not lose me in the struggle. You will find me. There is a rest I give that the world cannot manufacture. It is not the absence of responsibility, nor the escape from every ache. It is a rest woven of trust. When you place one careful breath after another into my hands, you will find that the hurriedness you once wore like armor begins to loosen. Your worth is not measured by productivity or how many tasks you can complete. In my sight, your life is not diminished because your pace has slowed. It is refined. I see the dignity of small things, the way you fold a blanket, the way you remember names, the way you pray for those who once prayed for you. These are holy acts. Listen to the rhythm of my voice in the small things. I will speak to you in the taste of an old recipe, in the tune that makes your feet tap, in the scent that takes you back to a Sunday long ago. I will meet you in memories that bring both tears and laughter, in the photographs on your wall that tell of a life dearly loved. Let these reminders be not just echoes of what was, but invitations to what still is, my presence now, unchanging and sovereign. Do not hurry to fix every unanswered question today. Some mysteries are meant to be held with a hand of faith, not solved by worry. There is freedom in admitting that you do not know all the answers and that you do not have to. Lean into the stillness that I give and allow me to be the keeper of the questions. You are permitted to rest in uncertainty when you rest in me. I will also tell you this: your life matters now as deeply as it ever did. Age has not made you invisible to my heart. the compassion born in you, the wisdom carved by hard days, the tenderness that softens your words. These are gifts to be given freely. Do not hoard them. Speak what you have learned, forgive as you have been forgiven, and be gentle with the parts of yourself that are tired. Whatever you offer, a listening ear, a blessing spoken, a hand held, is more potent than you imagine. So come, quiet your thoughts as you were invited earlier. Breathe with me. Let the weight you have carried begin to ease because I am here to carry it with you. I call you not to a distant plan, but to an intimate presence. In this season, I will be your companion, your rest, your redeemer. I will walk with you through whatever remains, not as a stranger, but as the one who has loved you from before your first dawn. My beloved child, I see the load you carry. I know the exact shape of every worry, the exact weight of every regret that sits like a pebble in your shoe. Some of these burdens arrived like storms, sudden and fierce, and some crept in like moss, slow and hidden until they covered more of your heart than you meant to allow. Do not shrink from this truth. Carrying too much was never meant to be your way. I did not create you to be bent under what ought to be borne by two. When I say, cast your cares on me, I mean it with more tenderness than words often convey. I do not offer a quick fix, a shallow comfort that dissolves when the morning light reveals the same old aches. I offer a deep, abiding exchange. Give me what exhausts you, and take from me a rest that settles into bone and breath. Bring to me the heaviness of memory, the things you wish you had done differently, the words you wish had been kinder, the faces you still miss. Lay them before me. I will take them, not to discard carelessly, but to weave them into redemption. I am a careful gardener of broken things. I plant forgiveness where you think there is only ruin. Regret has a way of convincing you that you are defined by a single season of life. You may replay decisions until they have hardened into identity. Hear me now. Your identity is not a single moment or a single failure. You are more than the sum of mistakes. I look beyond the slip to the heart that continued to love, to the hands that kept trying, to the courage that kept getting up. Those things are precious to me. The years of contrition and the years of quiet goodness are both part of the tapestry I am still weaving. Grief can be a long companion, especially in later years. It is not a sign that you are weak to feel it. It is proof that you have loved deeply. Allow your tears to be what they are, not weaknesses to hide, but valves that let the pressure go. I will stand beside you in each tearful moment. I will not hurry your mourning, nor will I leave you to it. There is no timetable here, only my faithful presence. Remember that sorrow does not have to be unattended. Bring the images, bring the longing, bring the silence. I will sit with you until the edges of the pain grow softer and the memory becomes a warm light instead of a sharp stone. You may also carry fear, fear for what tomorrow will look like, fear of loneliness, fear of being a burden. Fear can shrink your world until each day is only a list of things to survive. Let me expand your vision. I am sovereign over tomorrow, and my care for you has always been active, even in the smallest details. When anxiety tightens your chest, breathe with me. Let each breath be a simple prayer. I am here, and you are here. Repeat it until the thought becomes muscle, and the muscle loosens. Trust is built in those small repetitions, not by ignoring danger, but by choosing, moment by moment, to place your step in my stead. Practical burdens are real too. Finances, health concerns, the complexity of care. Do not mistake spiritual language for avoidance. Faith does not mean you refuse help. It means you refuse to be alone while seeking it. Ask for assistance. Accept a neighbor's offer. Let the family help with paperwork. Receive the outstretched hand with gratitude, not guilt. I work through people and plans. I am not threatened by doctors, accountants, or friends. They are channels of my provision. When you involve others, you share the load I invite you to release. There is rest I give that is not withdrawal from life, but a reorientation within it. It is not an escape from responsibility. It is the settling of your soul into a place where duties do not devour delight. This rest teaches you to live without frantic proving. It acknowledges that you are enough because I have said so. You may find it in slow mornings where the sun takes its time and you take yours, in a prayer that does not demand answers but rests in the warmth of my nearness, in a small act of mercy extended even when you imagine you have little left to give. These moments are holy. They form a net beneath your steps. Forgiveness is a bridge to rest. Sometimes you are the one who must be forgiven. Other times you are the one who must forgive. Both are heavy before they are liberating. Forgiveness does not erase what happened, nor does it condone harm. It untethers your heart from a prison of bitterness so you may move forward with a lighter pace. If you cannot find the words to forgive, begin with a small action, a quiet blessing, a prayer that asks me to help you let go. I will meet you in that request and enlarge your heart with grace. Pray as you are able. Speak plainly. If prayer feels like a ritual gone hollow, let honesty guide you. Say, I do not know how to pray, and watch how I answer. I cherish the simple, sincere words of a weary heart more than the most polished phrases. Prayer is not performance. It is conversation. Keep coming. Keep opening the door. I will come in, and we will sit together. Over time, the conversation will change your bearing. The steady rhythm of turning to me will teach your soul a new posture. Less frantic, more surrendered. Finally, let me remind you of continuity. The person you have been, with your flaws and your faith, is the person I still hold dear. Your story is not finished. It continues in the small things of today. The love you offer, the prayers you lift, the memories you steward. These are all acts of ongoing meaning. Do not measure contribution only by grand achievements. The gentle acts of presence you offer now carry eternal weight. So bring me the weight. Place it in my hands as you would hand a child a fragile treasure to keep safe. Feel the shifting of burden into rest. Hear the quiet, not of absence, but of settled peace, that follows. I am with you, to bear, to bind, to bless. Breathe with me, walk with me. Lay down what you cannot carry and receive the rest I give. My beloved child, have you ever lingered at the window of memory, watching the long river of your days and wondering if the bends were wasted or wise? Have you held a photograph and asked whether the laughter it captures still matters? Do you sometimes fear that the story you have lived is closing without having fulfilled the better promises you once imagined for yourself? Come closer. I will speak plainly and lovingly about the years behind you and the glory before you. Your past is not a ledger that I keep to tally failures. It is a canvas I have been painting upon even when you could not see the brushstrokes. Every choice, every stumble, every kindness, each has been folded into a larger design that only I can fathom in full. I do not pretend away the hard things. I know the nights you cried until your pillow was wet, the words you wish you could unsay, the chances you let pass. I know the griefs that hollowed you out, yet I also know the secret acts of faith no eye witnessed, the prayers whispered in the dark, the small offerings of mercy, the times you lingered to listen when others hurried by. These, too, are part of the pattern. Do not mistake the presence of scars for final defeat. Scars are not the end of the story, but the testimony that healing has begun. They tell of survival, of wounds that did not consume you. In my eyes, those healed places are sacred ground. I have not only forgiven your missteps, I have worked to make meaning from them. Even the things that brought shame or regret have been transformed by my grace into channels of compassion. Because you once knew sorrow, you can now offer sympathy that rings true. Because you once failed, you can lend encouragement that is humble and wise. Your past has trained you for ministry in ways you did not expect. There is a beauty in harvest time that only those who have sown can understand. The seasons of your life, planting, waiting, pruning, have yielded a kind of fruit that matters beyond measurement. It may not always be fame or vast public success. Often it is the quiet, faithful fruit, a child's steadiness, a friend's trust, the town that remembers your name. Do not undervalue these things. I measure them in a currency you cannot counterfeit. Love, faithfulness, mercy. These accrue interest into eternity. Look with me at what I call redeemed memory. This is the slow work of allowing grace to reinterpret what once seemed only loss. A painful marriage may not be erased, but its lessons can teach you boundaries and tenderness. A career that closed one door may have opened your heart to new callings that had no paycheck but deep purpose. The years you might have wanted to spend differently can yet be pressed into service for others. A story told at a hospice, a prayer offered at a kitchen table, a letter that comforts a grandson. I will use your remembered missteps to warn, to counsel, to bless, and in so doing they become valuable. Do not fear that aging makes you irrelevant. On the contrary, age brings perspective that younger eyes have not yet learned. You have seen fads rise and fall, promises made and broken, and through it all you have gained discernment. This is a wisdom that is scarce and precious. When you speak truth with gentleness, it plants seeds. When you listen before you judge, it offers a model of patient love. Your life is a living sermon, whether preached from a pulpit or poured out in a kitchen sink. I honor it. I will also remind you that the future I hold for you is not merely an abstract heaven waiting at the end. It is a continuing present in which glory both arrives and is being prepared. There are moments ahead, small, luminous instants, where my beauty will break into your ordinary. A hand you can hold, a moment of reconciliation, an unexpected laugh that makes you feel young in spirit. These are not accidents. They are part of the glory I have stored up for you. Expect them. Watch for them. Let your heart be tuned to the kind of wonder that still happens in simple places. Hope is not the arrogance of pretending pain does not exist. It is courage tempered by reality and watered by trust. Hope looks at the past honestly and still says, there is more. It is the courage to believe that your life has unfinished goodness, that the small offerings you make now will echo longer than you can see. Hope will reshape how you spend your days, less driven by proving worth, more generous with presence. If hope has grown thin, come and sit with me. Let me refill it with promise. There may be practical fears that press upon you, the slow decline of health, the thinning of social circles, the sense that time is slipping like fine sand. These are real and worthy of attention. Do what you must with good counsel, faithful doctors, and honest conversations with loved ones. Yet, do these things while holding an eternal perspective that lightens their terror. I am not unconcerned with the details of your life. Everyone matters to me. So tend to them wisely and then return to the simple work of being present where you are. Presence is a holy gift, often greater than any achievement. Forgiveness remains a key that opens doors to future glory. If there are names you have not spoken in years, people you need to bless or ask pardon from, start small. A letter, a phone call, a prayer can begin the process. Even when reconciliation is not possible, forgiveness frees you. It detaches your heart from bitterness and makes room for joy to return. Let me help you with this work. Call on me when the task feels beyond you. Finally, hear my invitation. Live as though you believe your story still matters, not because you must do great things, but because presence, testimony, and grace are themselves great. Speak memories that teach, laugh in ways that invite others to remember joy. Offer your steady hand to those who tremble. Your seasons behind you have prepared you for a ministry of ordinary glory, a ministry that will endure. I am with you in every recollection and in every hopeful glance ahead. The past has shaped you, but it does not define the fullness of what I have yet to bring. Trust that I am at work, redeeming, beautifying, and preparing a glory that will be yours and that will bless others through you. Walk forward with the dignity I give. Walk forward with the quiet confidence that, in my economy, every small kindness and every humble lesson counts for eternity. My beloved child, now that you have looked back and received rest, listen as I invite you into the simple art of dwelling with me every day. This is not a lofty program I give to the young and energetic alone. It is the tender practice of those whose steps are slower, whose hands tremble, and whose hearts long for steady companionship. Living in my presence is less about performance and more about posture, a gentle turning of your life toward me in small, faithful ways. Begin where you are. If mornings come quietly and your body moves with careful deliberation, let that be the place of prayer. You do not need eloquence to enter into conversation with me. A single phrase spoken from a sincere heart, "I am here and you are here," carries more weight than a list of polished requests. Speak to me about the ordinary, the weather you notice, the names that come to mind, the small joys or aches of the day. I am honored by such intimacy because it shows trust, not showmanship. Keep your ears open for the soft ways I speak. My voice often arrives like a suggestion, a memory that surfaces with comfort, a sudden clarity about what to say, a quiet nudge to reach out. Cultivate listening as much as speaking. You may discover that prayer becomes less a one-way plea and more a two-way companionship, where I place comfort, correction, or courage into your thoughts, and you receive it like a beloved letter. Listen for the whisper that says, "This is enough today," and let it steady you. Practice gratitude as a daily discipline. Gratitude will change the way you see your hours. Begin with the small things, the taste of tea, the color of early light, the sound of a distant bird, the memory of a laugh. When the mind tends toward worry, name one simple good thing and let thanksgiving be the salve. Over time, gratitude rewires your heart to notice the presence I already am, not only in miracles but in the quiet constancy of daily provision. Sabbath is not a rule to burden you, but a gift to reclaim. Even if you cannot attend a formal service, you can set apart time to rest, to read, to listen, to be with those who matter, or to simply sit in silence with me. Let Sabbath be an antidote to the cultural demand to be useful every minute. Resting in me is not laziness. It is the recognition that your worth is rooted in relationship, not in activity. Permit your soul to breathe on that holy day. Let community be your anchor. I have not meant for you to carry life alone. There is grace in shared prayer, in stories told over a wrinkled tablecloth, in a hand held across a hospital bed. If gatherings are challenging, find the smallest way to connect. A weekly phone call, a neighbor's visit, a letter that takes time to write. These acts keep your heart woven into the fabric of human care and allow me to work through others on your behalf. Turn your wisdom into blessing. You have seen seasons enough to offer counsel that is gentle and earned. Speak kindly. Your words may land with a gravity that changes a life. Share stories that teach without preaching. Your history, offered with humility, can guide those who follow you. When you pass on recipes, prayers, or habits of faith, you pass on a lineage of presence, a sacred inheritance far more durable than money. Care for your body with compassion. Where your strength wanes, let tenderness toward yourself increase. Eat nourishing food, rest when your bones say rest, and follow medical advice with courage. Treat your body as a temple of memory and devotion, not merely as an obstacle. When you care for yourself, you honor the life I have entrusted to you and remain available for the small ministries of each day. Offer forgiveness and ask for it when needed. Unresolved bitterness can cloud the loveliest moments. A single act of forgiveness, even silently offered, lifts a weight you need not bear. If reconciliation is not possible, still bless those who hurt you and release their hold on your spirit. In freeing others, you free yourself to receive more of my presence. Practice the sacrament of small things. Fold a blanket with care. Water a plant. Call a friend by name and listen until they finish. These humble acts become holy when done in awareness of me. They are threads that stitch the ordinary to the eternal. Do not underestimate these moments. They are the scaffolding of a life lived in my nearness. Keep a short journal of wonders and prayers. On hard days, read what you once wrote and be amazed at how I have upheld you. On days of clarity, write one line of thanks and tuck it away. This habit will become a map of my faithfulness you can return to when fog obscures the path. Prepare your heart for legacy, not only what will be left behind materially, but the stories, values, and prayers you plant in the hearts of others. Speak plainly about what matters. Bless those you love with your words and your presence. A spoken blessing carries power. It can shape the way those who follow you remember goodness. Finally, expect presence. Do not relegate my nearness to rare mountaintops. I am with you in the hum of your home, in the quiet turning of a page, in the breath you take between one memory and another. Invite me into each small hour and watch how ordinary time becomes luminous. The days you thought were only for waiting can become days of rich communion.